Sorry, Sam. Let's talk about Doctor. Share screen. Doink. Here we go. So what's this? Doctor Who, Ncuti Gatwa, Dalek Cyberman response got our attention. And look, anything Doctor Who says gets your attention because you're desperate to pretend you're not like completely wrong about everything. And no, you're completely wrong about everything. You are completely wrong about everything. So what's going on? On the One Show, Ncuti Gatwa offered a very interesting response when asked about his regret over never taking on the Daleks assignment. Well, you were never the Doctor. Oh, look, and he's standing next to Jamie Lee Curtis, everyone's favorite pedo, right? She's got this. She's weird. She's got a weird pedophilia thing going on. I thought we were going to get to see the picture of the. Jamie Lee. I used to really like Jamie Lee Curtis, and then, well, it's a support of her trans daughter. So I mean, she's got two kids. One is a daughter. One's a trans daughter. One is built like a brick shit house and looks like a guy wearing a wig. And one looks like a girl, right? It's the if you ever see it, it's weird. But she's got a weird picture or painting on a wall with a background of photo shoots of her home of like a child bound in a box or something. It's weird shit, right? Which again, listen, let me see if I can. Jamie Lee Curtis daughters. Have a look. I mean, it's so ridiculous whenever you see it. Yeah, 1 second. Here, we'll take this picture, which is slightly funnier. Here we go, over here. Can you tell which one? Maybe which one's a trans woman and which one's the old-fashioned kind? I don't know. Can you tell? It's a bit tricky, right? It's a bit tricky. Yeah, look, Jamie, darling. I'm not saying your son's a bad person. I am saying, like, he probably needs help. And whatever he's doing, like, if it looks like, this looks like adult sexuality, which should be in private, right? I have no problem having whatever kink you want in private. I mean, as long as everybody agrees and nobody gets hurt and it's safe, right? But like again, this normalization of this insanity has not been good, right? And I have no idea what the one human-looking person in the picture thinks about all this. I really have no idea. We live in strange times, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, so with Jamie Lee Curtis, how apt. And like, wait a minute, how come he's dressing like a man now? Now he's not Doctor Who. I'm just going to dress like a normative man again. Wait. What happened when you were Doctor Who? You were busy wearing like poof balls and other weird shit. No. Whatever the future of BBC Doctor Who turns out to be. Oh, really? Ray Flook? Because you said it was going to be great and anybody didn't like it is an evil bigot and this is the way of the future. You said the future was more Ncuti Gatwa Doctor Who and more queer Doctor Who and everybody loves it. Everybody. Anybody is so popular. Woke is so popular. Don't you remember that, Ray? You kept telling us for years how popular woke is and we kept pointing out, but look, every available metric looks like it's deeply unpopular, right? No, you said no, because Netflix, because TV viewing patterns have changed, so ratings don't matter. Really? No. By the way, Star Trek this week was a piece of shit. Oh, God, it was bad. It was bad in that it was so deeply offensive to Star Trek. It was just deeply offensive to Star Trek. All right, this is Enterprise, which is set 100 years before Next Gen, 120 years, something like that, and they had a holodeck episode, and it wasn't just a holodeck. It wasn't like a primitive holodeck. It was exactly the same set that they used in Next Gen. It was so stupid. And within this holodeck episode, it was like this Nazi Drew mystery set in Hollywood. And within this Nancy Drew mystery, there was a clearly Star Trek-inspired schlocky show that was part of the holodeck narrative, which was clearly meant to be Star Trek, and showed you how much disdain they had for Star Trek and how little understanding they had for Star Trek. Right? It's because they try and do it like a like a pastiche of the 1960s show, and they have a different title sequence, and it's just like the special effects are worse than they were in the 60s. It doesn't work. It just speaks. It says that you really don't like Star Trek. Like, you had no reverence for it whatsoever. And what the fuck, having a holodeck episode? Oh, so stupid. Anyway, I digress. Whatever the future turns out to be, not what you thought it was, you woke fuck nut cunt. It's the way of the future. Wasn't that Janet Fielding said, "Oh, I wish they would all just shut up because we want to live in the future." Do we? Because it appears you've been completely and utterly wrong. You got egg all over your face. You know why it appears that way? Because you're completely and utterly wrong and you had egg on your face. That's why it appears that way. I think we can all agree we were robbed when it comes to Ncuti Gatwa's 15th Doctor. No. We were more indecently assaulted. They're robbed. Weren't nearly enough. They were way too much. He just wasn't good in the role. I know he's gay. I know he's black. And I know you probably jack yourself off to him. That still doesn't mean he was good in Doctor Who. And that doesn't mean a gay person can't play Doctor Who and be good in it. That doesn't mean a black person can't play Doctor Who and be good in it. Right? It means Ncuti Gatwa was shit because all he was black and gay. Right? And he is paper thin. There is nothing there to him whatsoever. Right? I'm telling you, by the time we get to 2050, we'll remember him now like we remember Bros. Remember Bros? Yeah, I do, because I was around in the early 90s. All right? It's over. And I can't imagine his 5 minutes of fame is going to go on for much longer. I'll go on for as long as gay people want gay people in the entertainment industry want to pretend he has talent so they can cop off with him. Right? So maybe for quite some time. Although woke's dead. Like woke is officially dead. And anything woke looks ridiculous now. Not that anybody looks at it even. Like, who's going to be watching Starfleet Academy? Who's watching Star Trek Strange New Worlds? No one. Right? They haven't just like Doctor Who and Star Wars, they haven't generated any new fans in the last 8 years because they just made shit. Right? They thought the fans would stay around no matter what, and they could introduce all their woke shit, and we'll just go, oh, it's still Doctor Who. No. Leaving off the whole lot of what if. Oh, God. No, yeah, what if this never happened? Scenarios to ponder. Gatwa never made it a secret. He would have wanted the opportunity to take on the Daleks and the Cybermen at some point during this run. Unfortunately, Rossy Davis had not one good creative idea in his entire run. Like, really, not one good creative idea. Unbelievable. It's really, it is breathtaking how absolutely shit he was in this time round. Literally everything was a dud. Right? Every creative decision was bad, and his creative decision not to have the Cybermen or Daleks in the first 2 seasons, dumb. I mean, even Chibnall. I think Chibnall planned this from the beginning. Planned to do his first season without established villains, and the second season with monsters, established monsters. I think that I genuinely, I don't think there was course correction. I think his second season was recorded before the first season went out. Certainly written. So where are we up to? He wanted to take on the Cybermen and the Daleks at some point during his run. What are you going to do with the Daleks? You can put the plunger up your ass and twerk it. Probably would. Unfortunately, with his run seeming to have ended with the reality war, it doesn't appear Gat will get the opportunity. Yes, you know why? Because he was shit in the role. Right? Black and queer are not the building blocks for great acting. Oh, I don't know why you would think they were. Like, why? Why do you think he was good? He was shit. Where we are. Okay, and I don't want to denigrate this person too at all, because I actually really like and I quite respect him. Luke, who's on one of the panelists on the on Dan's channel. I think, is he on tonight or is he on the Monday show? I can't remember, and maybe he's on tonight. I don't know, but again, seems like a really together normal person. And he said, "Well, Pete Mateague's always done good stuff. Like, Lucky Day was fantastic." And I don't want to berate him and say that you dumb fuck what you talking. No, I'm going to say, how'd you come to that idea? Like, for me, when there's too many plot holes to be able to get through something without it falling apart, then I think the thing I'm watching is shit. Right? That's just one man's opinion for you. It doesn't seem to end with the reality war. It doesn't mean Gatwa will get the. He already regenerated, you dumb cunt. For fuck's sake. But maybe not so fast. Check in with the One Show this evening to promote Royal Shakespeare Company's production Born with Teeth, and joined by Jamie Lee Curtis, who's promoting Disney's Freakier Friday. Yeah, Freakier Friday is when you get a 6-year-old and put your finger up his ass, right? Not freaky for Jamie Lee Curtis. That's a normal Friday for her, baby. Don't put a finger up however old a child's ass, right? Don't do that unless you're a doctor giving an examination in front of a parent, right? Who is clearly not a paedophile parent, a parent, who is not Jamie Lee Curtis. Say that. Gatwa's asked about his one regret over the course of his run as 15th Doctor. I didn't suck enough dick. I only sucked Rose dick. Oh, I wanted to suck more dick. Yeah, it's be stunning and brave. I never got to fight a Dalek or a Cyberman. I mean, it's the crux of Doctor Who. Yes, and I feel it's right and proper you didn't get to battle them because you were not the Doctor. Yeah, so might do that. How? On Big Finish? What? I mean, it's the crux of Doctor Who. So might do that. Gatwa shed after laughter broke out. Might go and fight a Dalek. From there, Curtis began joking about how the show became a place for big announcements and how there must be true serum in the water. What? From there, Curtis began joking about how the show had become a place for big announcements and how they might. What the fuck are they talking about? Where's the clip? Did they take the clip out? Okay, let's download that. I think we need to investigate this more fully, don't you, ladies and gentlemen? I do. I'm on the wrong thing. I need to go back. Video file. They have the Chibnall manipulator arm on it on the Daleks. No, that was Rossy Davis. Oh God, one of his many awful ideas. Let's see what.
So brilliant in. You have just one little regret.
Okay, he wasn't brilliant in it. Why are you lying? Right? Why are you lying? But this is a nice little side note. Apparently, woke King Old Sausage Fingers Charles has expressed a dislike for Donald Trump's statement that illegal immigration is dangerous. Charles is completely I say I can give him a pass for being completely out of touch, because he's royal. That made sense, but I don't know. Ncuti Gatwa, I don't know. So anyway, and you were awful as Doctor, right? But I would feel less bad saying it to him than I would to Jodie Whittaker. Okay, because Jodie Whittaker is just loves the show and loves the role. She has no idea that she's shit. She's like a stupid a stupid golden retriever, and has no idea what's going on. Is just happy and smiling, and I can't really be mad at that. I mean, it's easy not to be mad at it since I haven't seen her do Doctor Who for so long. But yeah. What's your regret, Ncuti? Do you regret destroying the show with your constant queerness? Is that one of your little regretty wets? Because I regret that. I don't know. Let me see if you regret that.
I never got to fight a Dalek. Dalek or a Cyberman. So, I mean, it's just the crux of Doctor Who. Yeah, so...
Yeah, it's because you're awful. And again, there is nothing beyond Ncuti Gatwa other than his identity, right? There is no brain, no thought, no acting ability. It literally just his identity. And it's not a fashionable identity anymore. I mean, you can feel it raining right now, right? Looks like Harry's off for a stay in Gator Gitmo. I don't think so, but I do think Obama's going to jail.
Might do that. Might go fight a Dalek.
By the way, another secret announcement on your show is like the hot.
We call it
place.
Well, secret announcement that Ncuti Gatwa might fight. He's not going to fight a Dalek, Jamie. Right? He's not going to fight a Dalek. Goodness sake. Get your son to fucking therapy. What the fuck is wrong with you, darling?
Secret, like no one else in the world knows that this is happening, and we're like, you guys are like, what is there truth serum in this?
I know.
I thought it was
only on the one show, Jamie. Only on the one show. And look, hey, darling viewer, don't forget, tickets to Ncuti's play, Born with Teeth at London's Wisdom Theatre are available now.
Again, good luck with that. He's never doing Big Finish.
What other secrets are we going to tell?
It was a nice parent.
Have you ever raped any children?
It truly was.
We love it.
Sadly, that's all we got time for tonight.
If only we said that. Sadly, that's all we got time for before Ncuti Gatwa took the role. Wouldn't life be better then? Okay. What an interesting segment. Huge thanks to Matthew Purchase for posting the clip. Thank you, Matthew Purchase. Gatwa seemingly hesitant before his full response. He didn't push back in any way. When Curtis implied there was another guy with big... No, there's no big news. He's not fighting a fucking Dalek. Oh, for fuck's sake. And if he is, it's a dumb idea. He's not fighting a Dalek. Of course, the quote could be read as Gatwa joking about personally going... That's exactly how I took it. Or Sideman to fight. But then again, it could be read as Gatwa possibly getting a chance to take... either or both big bags during an audio drama. He's not doing Big Finish. He's not doing Big Finish. And I don't think Big Finish could afford him, frankly. Right? Maybe in 6 months when he's on the street. 2 years. Other than that, others see it as maybe something Gatwa isn't quite as done with the Hooniverse as he's totally done. It's over. Right? It's over. There's no more Ncuti. He was shit and he's gone. Thank God. Other citizens isn't done with the Hooniverse as they were left to believe until the... I mean, look, they could conceivably have Billie Piper then turn back into Ncuti Gatwa. Right? But no one's going to pay for that. What's going down on both sides of the camera? The speculation will continue. Okay, why don't you listen to people who were right about everything and not to you, who was wrong about everything, right? What's this? Dr. Billie Piper approached very last minute for Regeneration. So, yeah, Rossy Davis is on record as saying, wouldn't it be marvelous? We could have a regeneration scene where they regenerates into a superstar, an absolute superstar that everybody adores. Oh, wouldn't that be marvelous? Oh, just fantastic. Wouldn't it be marvelous? And then they'll run around and they'll, twiddle some dolls and pull some levers, and then they'll change it to real Doctor Who. That's always been the plan. All right? They have no new Doctor, right? They have no budget. They have no one they can cast. And if there was a new Doctor, it'll be more woke shit because Rossy Davis can't get away from himself. Right, I do believe that there are other streamers actively working to bring Doctor Who back and would love to bring it back. I don't think any of them want Rossy Davis, right? I think that's why there hasn't been an announcement as yet, right? I think as of today, Doctor Who is off HBO Max, or is it Max now? Or is it HBO now? But I think it's finally gone from there. There's no home for it in the US anymore because they fucked it in the arse to death. Right? They woked it to death. Robert Payne is this. Sadly, they regenerated. No, it wasn't sad at all. When it comes to the future Doctor Who, there's just as many questions to ask behind the scenes as regarding what's hitting us through. Well, neither. And again, Ray, I remember you calling me a Nazi for saying this was going to happen. Right? How's what's that smug cunt's name? Ben Cook doing now, right? His entire self-worth was wrapped up in being involved in the Rossy Davis Doctor Who, which was now an absolute shit show. Probably living in complete denial, blaming Trump for everything. When it comes to the future Doctor Who, regarding the cliffhanger suspense, you have to give Rossy Davis a ton of creative credit for throwing out. No, it was pure desperation from somebody who didn't know what to. It's exactly the same as. What was it? Again, if you're not from England, you might not know. I was talking about this earlier. There's this thing called the Online Safety Bill, which is essentially purportedly designed to protect children from harmful yes. Oh yeah, sorry. Somebody just sent me a thing of the Chibnall Daleks without the sucker, but with the essentially they look like they got butt plugs. Oh, Ncuti would be back for that in a heartbeat, right? In a bloody heartbeat. So what was I saying? Billie Piper. No, I don't give any credit for it. Every creative decision was poor, which led into this complete and total failure, right? So no, I don't know. It doesn't get a ton of credit for throwing out a huge shocker in the season when the Doctor regenerates in a headline-worthy, but was it headline-worthy? But not surprising, though. Ncuti Gatwa was exiting after 2 seasons. Will always be a wait. No, it will never be a great. Just like Jodie Whittaker, this guy is insane. This guy is absolutely insane. Right? Here, let me set the message. Doink. There you go. Oh, so hard to type without talking. So we're up to it. Where we up to? Now I've lost total Jodie. But when the reality, okay, why do you think Jodie Whittaker didn't get more? Because she was also shit. God bless her. I mean, but she was. The reality also Gatwa get regenerate into none other than Billie Piper. It didn't take long for fans to lose their collective shit in a number of ways. What to say? This is pure desperation by somebody who has no idea what he's doing, like literally no idea. Which I think is. 1 second. I have somebody complimenting me. How do I pronounce your name? Gaz Rotten. Okay, Gaz Rotten. You're complimenting my thumbnail. So in that case, we have to look at it again because it is a rather good one. I do admit. Teddy, Billie Piper certainly has her fans. Me too. Again, I love this thumbnail. I'm going to be the ride of a lifetime. I think you mean trip of a lifetime. I know what I mean. Don't tell a woman like Billie Piper what she means. She knows exactly, even though she's not Levi there, and she's going to turn back into Billie Piper now. There you go, darling. Enter Billie Piper again. There you go. So, Gatsby Ron, I do appreciate your appreciation. Fine. Let's finish this up. Did we meet the 16th Doctor choosing to take on the look of Billie Piper's Rose Tyler? Could that be Rose and something be screwed up at Regeneration? No, it's just they Doctor Who completely and they had no idea what to fucking do. It's not hard to how is this confusing to you? Right. You remember when the crashing rating was saying, well, this looks bad. You're like, no, Netflix. People watch YouTube, Netflix. Right? People watch TV differently now. Which they do, but they still don't like watching shit. So is it? So joined by Excellent on the Planet at SuperCon 2025, Piper chose the word carefully when discussing the return of the franchise. This is such a minefield. I have to really engage in how I answer this. All I can say is the approach was very last minute. I can't talk about in what capacity, but I found it very emotional to film, and I think that's a really great ending. It is the ending, right? Piper shared as in, I just found it quite moving, and it was really fun because it had so much sort of cloak and dagger feeling about it getting made. So yeah, I have to lie a lot about anything to do with Doctor Who, it seems. Well, here's the thing, though. Yeah, it's much like Strange New Worlds this week. Clearly, the production team and the staff had a lot of fun with it, like this week's episode. It was shit. It was awful shit. Really committed Doctor Who, crucial partner, blah, blah, blah. We fucked Doctor Who in the arse. It's dead. It's dead and bleeding out of his arse. I think that's a fair way to describe Doctor Who today, right? It's dead and bleeding out of its arse, right? Michael Allen says he's 52. I'm about 52. I was born in 71. What year is it? I'm 54. There you go. I don't want to my kids stopped watching it, so I can't imagine them sitting down on a Saturday night with their children if they have any. Well, I am hoping that when my grandkids are old enough, we will sit and watch Doctor Who together, whether it's on or not. I do not know. Anyway, is my evaluation of Doctor Who dead and bleeding out of his arse? I think that's a pretty fair evaluation, but I don't know. It's good to have a bit of a good salt mine going on with that, right? It's good to have more than one mind address this wedding problem. Although I'm not sure if they're there. They are there. It is, of course, the other mind where we Dan Hagley, Burban's King of the Geeks. How are you doing, sir?
I'm here. I'm present. I'm almost correct. And I'm ready for whatever you're going to throw at me, particularly if it's about, I'd say, 34C, 34D.
See, for me, if you say 38C, now you're talking about D.
Hello.
Yeah, now you're talking. How are you doing, sir? Have you seen this news, though, from Big Finish, which I'm intrigued to hear what your take on it will be? Because I imagine you'll be excited. I'm somewhat less so. Back to the start for Ace. Now, you're a big fan of Sophie Aldred and Ace, right?
Absolutely. I think she's wonderful.
I'm a fan of Ace, not so much Sophie Aldred, right? It very much into the weird trans insanity of the age, which I just, I think it.
I don't share her values, but she made time for us, and she was lovely company. And in fact, I've met her several times over the decades, man and boy. No doubt that she's always been lovely.
I'm no doubt. Both her and Sylv are very nice people, but the last few years have been rough and everything. Anyway, so this is an interesting idea. I don't think I'm going to buy it, but it's an interesting idea. Sylvester McCoy and Sophie Aldred to star in 3 brand new audio adventures set during Ace's early days on the TARDIS. The 7 Doctor Ventures, Wicked.
Yeah.
Does that interest you or not?
Absolutely.
Really? Me? I'm like, I'm not really a fan of season 24, frankly. I think it's kind of fun and kitsch, but
I've always wondered about that time, and I did see this story. I've always wondered about that time in between Dragonfire and Remembrance of the Daleks, because whilst I don't get the impression that they've been together years and years and years, there is a bit of a jump. They've
certainly been together several months by that point. They're comfortable with each other,
and I do feel that them getting to know one another would have been a lot more gradual in the way that the Doctor and Leela was. That the not necessarily a confliction of values, because I think that what the Doctor saw in Leela was certain qualities that he felt that he could relate to and things that he could bring out in her. I think the Doctor saw that in Ace too. But we were able to kind of walk through the evolution of the character of Leela, whereas in the McCoy era, across those 2 seasons, whilst I appreciate what Andrew Cartmel was doing, because he had such a finite time in which to do it, things sort of leapt on rather than gradually move through. So I think this is a good window to drop some stories into.
You're probably right. Say, let's listen to what they're saying about it. Hunting treasure, solving snow-covered mysteries, and meeting heroes of legend. The partnership is formed. The Doctor starts to see his protege's potential, while Ace thinks their adventures are nothing less than wicked. Oh, the 80s, long time ago. In 1987, Doctor Who's TV show Dragonfire invited Ace aboard the TARDIS via the scenic route. The next box set is the Range Explorers. What happened next? Exactly what you just said. Ace's early trips in the TARDIS take her and the Professor, as she calls the Doctor, to 1920s Soho, a luxury ski resort in the 2070s, and 15th century Spain, where they encounter different extravagant adventures. A different extravagant adventurer, Don Quixote. Okay.
For fuck's sake.
What worries me is like the Katherine Armitage is the only name I recognise there. Has she done anything good?
That enthusiasm that you noted in my manner a few moments ago.
Yeah.
They've just completely tanked it with that. Those stories sound shit. Contrived nonsense.
Yeah.
Does that sound in any way? Do they sound like a set of stories in any way that belong in the McCoy era? No. Any of that stuff, the settings, the premise, any of that, they should be. Andrew Cartmel's take on the show then was inspired by stuff like Watchmen, DR and Quinch, all that stuff. And here they're telling stories about, what was it, the 15th century? What the fuck? Don Quixote? What the fuck?
The luxury ski resort in the 2070s could work. That I can imagine.
But they've just gone from Ice World, so we've got more snow.
Right.
15th century, 1920 Soho. Why is he in Soho? They've got this wrong. These should be fantastical stories with very simple central conceits. They're right to make one historical, but it's got to be a bit more kind of more GCSE history than this.
Yes. Oh, that's exactly right. Yeah, I do agree. So let's see what they have to say for themselves. Script editor Matt Finner said, after spending some time with the oldest ever Doctor, it's fun to go back to the partnership that defines the era like no other. The Doctor and Ace have a roller coaster relationship over the years, with stories with many twists and turns up and down. But wicked, we delve into the very beginnings of that beautiful relationship. The Lonely Time Lord starts to see the potential of the new young protege, the rebellious team from Perivale, has her eyes on the universe. There's Ace's first trips in the TARDIS, madcap treasure hunt through the night. Okay, madcap treasure hunt in 1920s London. That sounds like something Andrew Cartmel.
Yeah, that sounds a bit more. Yeah.
The word madcap treasure hunt were quite important, I think. Facing the dangers of the snowy slopes in Earth's future, an encounter with another duo that holds up a mirror to time travel. The Doctor meets Don Quixote. It's such an inspired pitch. Is it really?
No, it isn't.
No, it's not. It's actually quite dull, isn't it?
It's really dull. It doesn't fit at all.
Let me see if any of these people have written anything I'm vaguely interested in.
This is what perplexes me about Big Finish. They come up with a premise like this, with a sweet spot in the series history that's never been exploited, and a great name too. That name, the Seventh Doctor Adventures Wicked, that sums up that particular place beautifully, because if you were to drop it between seasons 25 and 26, it doesn't fit quite so well, because Ace has already started to evolve. So to put it in that place, wicked,
exactly.
When you hear the word wicked, I hear that word in a spiky bubble, like you're shouting in a comic book. And that's what these stories need to be. They need to be punchy. They need to be three-parters. They need to be pretty goofy and fantastical, and have a slight kind of, I won't say a political edge to them, but maybe a kind of mildly topical feel.
No, they should have a topical feel from the late 80s.
Yes.
They should go back and talk about, hey, could that work? I don't know. So this is a swing and a miss for me, sadly. Right? Okay, the Big Finish is saving me more money. I hate to tell you. I had said to myself, I'm not buying anything unless there's a free version of a thing of it, or a sample of it, or I'm going to illegally download it. and then listen, then decide if it's good.
Would you like to hear?
Yeah, I did illegally download stuff, but I'm too bored. I can't get past the second episode ever. Like this stuff is just like garbage.
I'm going to pitch to Big Finish an idea I've had for a little while, a prequel to Paradise Towers. I think they need all the help they can get. Have they done it?
They've done that. It ties into, what's the name? Greatest Show in the Galaxy.
Does it really? I must have missed that.
Yeah, because they spent a part of it in Paradise Towers. Tell you, look at this. There's just, I'm getting this, but that's no. I'm like, I see this and going, no way.
I thought they were done with River Song. Oh no, they finished the Diary of River Song. Now they're doing the life and death of River Song.
This one I was kind of interested in, because it's supposed to be like the Peter Cushing Doctor, but the trailer just really put me off. Alexion, I like the missing stories. This is actually, I think, the last real missing story. Master.
I bought all of those when they first started doing Lost Stories. I bought every single one for years and years and years, and I think they've put out several now that I've never got. They used to be in bright white boxes, and I used to always make a point of buying them. But since they compressed the line so that they all look like, it doesn't say the Lost Stories anywhere on that branding, so you can't. Well, they got this.
Right. You know what? I agree. The Lost Stories are way better when they had their own look, right? Black and white monotone covers. Nightmare Country, I thought was very good. And Ultimate Evil, I enjoyed as well.
I bought the Ultimate Evil and I bought Return of the Cybermen. I must have forgotten completely about Nightmare Country, which, considering that stars my Doctor, is odd. So they haven't actually done that.
Is it Stephen Gallagher? Again, I like Stephen Gallagher's Doctor. Yeah, Stephen Gallagher.
This completely passed me by.
It's a weird, hard sci-fi one. See, Return of the Cybermen is the original draft of Revenge of the Cybermen, which is essentially the Robert Holmes taking out Revenge of the Cybermen. And you get this weird, like, second Doctor feeling Cyberman story. It doesn't really work. Doomsday Contract was, I found that genuinely fun. Mind of Hojack was unbearably awful. It was just like, holy crap, right? It's like, until the shooting era, it was the worst thing you've done. Dalek Genesis, I'm not interested in a table read of Terry Nation's Genesis of the Daleks, right? Or the Ark in Space. And by that time, I'm like, leave me alone with Operation Wheel. I don't care. I got this one, Death World, as an interesting curio. Genesis of the Cybermen is not a lost story, but this one looks quite good. This was the one where I suppose... do you remember when Sophie Aldred took over Doctor Who magazine for an issue as the guest editor? So they had like what Doctor Who would have happened if it hadn't been cancelled. And so McCoy would have regenerated at its next season after writing out Ace in this story, Alexion, right? And then they had Derek Griffiths as the 8th Doctor, which sounded quite good.
I never heard about Derek Griffiths. I know there was.
Phil Bevan has some great illustrations.
I think you mean Richard Griffiths from Pie in the Sky.
Griffiths. Derek Griffiths is who they should have cast as the Doctor instead of Colin Baker, right? If they'd gone for a black Doctor, then they would have done much better, I think. And
the nation loved Derek Griffiths. He's another one of my sort of, he's like a TV dad,
Derek
isn't
Griffiths is fantastic. He is genuinely. I saw him in Panther playing the villain. And he was ad-libbing away, interacting with the audience. He's fantastic, right? He's absolutely every bit the wonderful person you saw on Play School, right? He's 100% that guy. I'm a big fan of Derek Griffiths. I think he would have made a fantastic Doctor. Well, there you go. So this I'm quite kind of interested, but I know the.
It's a great cover, to be fair to them. It's an eye-catching cover. Maybe I've been a bit hard on this range, but because I'd forgotten about Death World, which whilst I think the story is nothing to write home about.
Well, you understand why it was never made into a show. They went to the Doctor instead, 3 Doctors instead. I'll be amazed if any of the Judy stuff gets a second season. Right? Maybe they will. I don't know.
They've got 2 years to gather all that sales data.
I will genuinely be surprised if Doctor Who's around, if Big Finish is still operating in 2 years. I think they're waiting for the catalog to be bought up by Audible or someone, right? And when they have, and I think that this is for a streaming service now. There's just too much content. This looks like it'd be quite good. So October, they've got a new War Master, but I haven't listened to anything. The last War Master stuff I listened to was Escape from Reality, which was freaking awesome. And then there was the next one, he was in an insane asylum. I don't think I finished it. But no, they totally taught me out of this Seventh Doctor Wicked. Probably go for this Sherlock Holmes stuff because I do like the Sherlock Holmes. Who's reading Afterlife?
Alistair Locke.
That's it. Okay. Well, they actually got a few of these Blake Seven books are going now. That have been out of print.
I'm glad they're doing that book. I mean, I've got the book. I would imagine all Blake Seven fans, you've probably got it as well. But
but this is something they should be using AI for. Like for this thing, Origins. They should do books on tape of every story and use AI to get AI Paul Darrow to read it. It seems insane to me that they're not doing that. Right? AI Gareth Thomas, and like not the Gareth Thomas from when he did Big Finish. Gareth Thomas when he sounded like Gareth Thomas from Blake Seven. Yeah, I think that's really what they got, because like this is ridiculous. People aren't paying $179 plus shipping for these books, but I wouldn't mind hearing. I would like to hear Paul Cornell's Way Back in Spacefall, right? Mark Platt Cygnus out from Times Square. I would like to hear that, and they should have actually been releasing that at about roughly the same time the DVD, the Blu-rays came out. But yeah, look, Big Finish. I don't know. The Sullivan the Smith looked awful. It just really did. And like the more I saw of it, the less I was interested in it. And
I've totally lost interest in this now. I don't think the stories sound.
And yeah, in one press release, they chased you away from it.
Totally tanked my interest in it. It has to be authentic to the specific place
and
that they are putting these stories in.
That's what they used to be great at, and they to a lot great. That's why I like the Stephen Noonan stuff, because it generally speaking
exactly.
Is. Mind you, I'm still struggling with the Companion Chronicles, because the first one is Maureen O'Brien reading it, and it's an okay little story. Didn't really hold my attention that much. Second one is Carol Ann Ford reading it. I'm only halfway through. I want to get to Stephen bloody Noonan, who I know can carry a bloody story. Right, I'm like, and it just hasn't interested me enough. Same thing with the Six Doctor one. I don't think they're putting the
thought into the 80s Doctors that they do with the first, second, and third Doctors. Yeah. The stuff that's coming from Tom Baker, I know that the bulk of it was recorded quite a long time ago. Some of it was recorded 5 or 6 years ago, like long before their last relaunch. So I think they're kind of stuck with what they've got there for however long. And the Eighth Doctor stuff, which was those are the things that I would buy sight unseen. And now they're the very last things I look at. I know. Honestly, I think they won their last bites of the cherry with traditional fans like us is the Ninth Doctor and Billy stuff. I like the format. If it wasn't Jodie Whittaker and Mandip Gill, I'd actually buy both lines. If they were rotating Chris and Billy with, say, Matt Smith and Karen Gillan, I'd buy both lines. I'd even buy both lines if they were going back to doing McGann and Sheridan Smith in the old 50-minute format. I'd buy both lines. They've managed to. I love those ones. I'll be buying the Eccleston ones.
It blows my mind as well that, like, I wish somebody would have the idea of getting what's the name, Dinobuff, to illustrate, to animate those 50-minute episodes of Eighth Doctor and Sheridan Smith. I mean, it would be dynamite content, cheap as chips. They could get an entire season for the budget of a quarter of an episode of Shooting Up with Doctor Who. Probably less, frankly. Yeah, it's and again, I just do it for online content. And then if it goes well, put it on on TV. But yeah, I mean, that kind of online content, you should put it out on your YouTube channel, right? On your TikTok channel. That would have people actually watching it because A, it's good quality, and B, it'll be visually interesting. But no one's going to listen to me. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.